Hello and welcome to another episode of the Ableton Live Insider tips. This time we're still doing the mini-series about the default presets in Live 9 and how you can improve your workflow with them. And this time we're talking about dropping samples. And that means there's two occasions where you can drop samples somewhere in a MIDI track and then a certain device is created. The first occasion is if you drag a sample onto the device view. So down here. And by default, a simpler device is created that contains the sample then. And then the other instance is if you drag a sample onto a drum rack pad. Okay, so here in the user library we have the defaults sample that contains also the dropping samples folder, and that contains the on device view and on drum rack. And for both, you can simply create a simpler or a sampler preset on a MIDI track. We'll do that now. And I'm actually going to use the sampler because I have the suite and I actually like using the sampler quite a lot. So I'm going to just simply drag in the sampler folder because it needs to be an empty preset with no sample included. And then we can make the adjustments that we need. Like we could adjust the zone, adjust what we need. So for example, what we can do is we could adjust the curves here. I'm actually going to turn off the filter and I'm going to turn up the volume to -6 dB. You know, you can just make the adjustments of when you realize that certain parameters are never the way you want them, but you rather generally want them like this, then you just change them. And this time we can't just do a right click. What we have to do this time around is go into the user library on the default and then dropping samples and then put it into one of those folders. So I'm actually going to use that for the on device view. So I'm just going to drag it in here. Okay, and save. You can choose a different name as well if you like. And then I'm just going to take a sample and drag it here into the device view. And as you can see, those are our settings. And here's our sample. And of course, you can do the same thing with drum racks. Let's go back to the user library. And let's just say we'll want the same, just, to show you. And put it in here. Yep. And let's just create a new MIDI track. And then we're going to put in an empty drum rack. And then just drag that in here. And as you can see, that's the preset we get then. I hope you found this helpful and I'll see you next time. Bye. If you're new to Ableton Live or Push, then check out my online video courses. More information can be found on my website sonicbloom.net/courses.